They say that when your heart breaks, it should sound like a gunshot. It should be loud, chaotic, a symphony of screaming and glass shattering against the wall. But that's not how it happens in real life. In real life, the moment your world ends is terrifyingly quiet. It's the sound of a key turning in a lock. It's the soft click of a door handle. It's the silence of a house that should be empty, but isn't. My name is Liam. I'm 32 years old, an architect by trade. My job is to build things that last, to create structures that can weather storms. Up until 2 weeks ago, I thought I had built a life just as sturdy. I was engaged to Elena. We had been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. And my best friend? That was Marcus. We'd known each other since we were freshmen in college. He was going to be my best man. I want you to remember that phrase, best man. It implies a level of quality, doesn't it? Integrity, honor. Looking back, the red flags were there. They always are, aren't they? We just paint them white because we want to believe in the people we love. Elena had started obsessing over her image lately. She's a high-end real estate agent, so looking the part is a job, but this was different. She was hitting the gym 5 nights a week. And who was her personal trainer? Marcus. I trusted him. I trusted him with my life, my secrets, and my fiancée. I mean, why wouldn't I? He was a guy who dragged me out of my depression after my dad died. He was the brother I never had. But then came the late nights. The client dinners that ran until midnight. The phone that was always placed screen down on the coffee table. The way she would jump if I walked into the room while she was texting. When I asked her about it, she'd turn around on me. She was a master at deflection. Liam, you're being suffocating, she'd say, rolling her eyes. Marcus is just helping me get in shape for the wedding. Don't you want me to look good for you? You're so insecure it's unattractive. She made me feel small. She made me feel crazy. That brings us to last Tuesday. I was supposed to be at a site inspection 3 hours away, but the contractor called. The structural steel delivery was delayed. The site was closed. I decided to drive home early. I stopped at that Italian bakery Elena loves, the one with the cannolis she can never resist. I thought I'd be the good guy, the romantic guy. I pulled into the driveway and saw it. Marcus's Range Rover. My stomach didn't drop. It vanished. I stood there in the driveway, holding a box of pastries, staring at his license plate. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe he dropped by to drop off a wedding gift. Maybe they were planning a surprise for me. The lies we tell ourselves in those milliseconds are the most pathetic lies of all. I opened the front door. Quietly, I heard them upstairs. I walked up the steps. Every creak of the floorboards sounded like a thunderclap to my ears, but they didn't hear me. They were too distracted. I pushed the bedroom door open. It wasn't just that they were in bed together. It was the intimacy of it. They weren't just hooking up. They were comfortable. They were laughing. In the bed I bought. Under the roof I paid for. Elena saw me first. Now this is the part that haunts me. If she had screamed, if she had covered herself, if she had looked ashamed, maybe, just maybe, I would have reacted differently. But she didn't. She looked at me, her eyes cold and hard, and she actually smirked. She pulled the sheet up lazily, like I was the room service waiter interrupting a private moment. Well, she said, her voice dripping with condensation. You're home early. What are you going to do, Liam? Cry about it. Marcus scrambled up. He looked terrified. Liam, wait, man, let me explain. Shut up, I said. My voice was strange. It was steady. It didn't sound like me. It sounded like a stranger. Elena laughed. A cruel, sharp sound. Oh, let him go, Marcus. Look at him. He's shaking. He's too weak to do anything. He'll probably just go sleep in the guest room. That was the moment. That was the switch. If she had apologized, I might have just yelled and left. But she mocked me. She banked on my decency. She bet on my passivity. I didn't yell. I didn't throw a punch. I pulled out my phone, snapped 3 high-resolution photos of them, and then I turned around. You're right, Elena, I said. I'm leaving. Don't come back until you calm down, she screamed at my back, trying to regain control of the situation. And don't you dare tell anyone, or I'll make you look like the abuser. I walked out to my car, placed the cannolis on the passenger seat, and drove away. I checked into a hotel down the road. And that is when the sadness ended and the cold, hard logic of an architect took over. I didn't sleep that night. I planned. The next morning, my phone was a paperweight vibrating with desperation. 30 calls from Elena, 20 from Marcus. Text messages that range from "baby, please, let's talk," to "you're blowing this out of proportion," to "if you tell Marcus's wife, I will ruin you." They didn't know who they were dealing with. I designed complex systems for a living. I understand how load-bearing walls work. And I knew exactly which walls in their lives were load-bearing. Here is the thing they forgot. I am a tech enthusiast. Our house wasn't just a house. It was a smart home. I had servers running backups for everything. And Elena? She was terrible with technology. She was still logged into her iCloud on our shared iPad in the living room. The iPad I had access to remotely. I sat in that hotel room with my laptop and started digging. It wasn't just a one-time thing. I found messages going back 6 months. While I was working overtime to pay for her dream wedding venue, she was meeting Marcus at hotels, at his gym, even in our car. I found the financial trail. 2. Marcus wasn't just my friend. He was my financial advisor. I trusted him with my portfolio. I looked at the withdrawals. Elena had been using my secondary credit card, the one for emergencies, to pay for dinners with him. They were literally whining and dining on my dime. But the smoking gun? A video from the security camera in the living room from 3 weeks ago. They were on the couch, drinking wine. In the video, Marcus says, "When are you gonna dump him?" And Elena says, "Not until after the wedding. I need his health insurance for the surgery. And frankly, I want half the house equity. He's pathetic, but he's useful." Useful. I saved everything. I backed it up to 3 different cloud servers and an external hard drive. Then I started making phone calls. The first call was to my bank. I froze the joint accounts. I transferred my personal savings to a new institution, completely unaffiliated with Marcus's firm. I removed Elena as an authorized user on every card. The second call was to the wedding venue. I spoke to the coordinator. I told her the wedding was off due to infidelity. She was sympathetic. She told me that because we were 4 months out, I could get 50% of the deposit back. I told her to cancel the flowers, the catering, the band, everything. Then I sat back and watched the digital fallout. Around noon, I got a notification that Elena's car was declined at a gas station. Then another notification. Declined at Starbucks. That's when she showed up at the hotel. I don't know how she found me. Probably to Find My Friends, app 1 forgot to disable. I heard banging on the door. "Liam, open this door right now." I opened it. She stood there, looking less perfect than usual. Her hair was messy, her eyes wide. She pushed past me into the room. "You cut off my cards," she screeched. "Are you insane? I have clients to meet." I sat in the armchair, crossing my legs. "You're not an authorized user anymore. Elena, those cards are for family. You're not family. We're getting married." "No," I said calmly. "We aren't. I canceled the venue this morning." Her face went pale. You didn't." "I did. And I sent a blast email to the bridal party, letting them know the event is canceled. I kept it vague for now, just said unforeseen circumstances. But people will talk." She switched tactics immediately. The tears started. It was a performance I had seen 1,000 times, but now I could see the strings. "Liam, please." It was a mistake. I was scared. Cold feet. Marcus was just there. It didn't mean anything. "It meant enough for you to call me pathetic," I said. "It meant enough for you to plan on divorcing me after securing the equity in the house." She froze. "How did you—" "I know everything, Elena. I know about the hotels. I know about the money. I know what you said about me." She narrowed her eyes. The mask fell off completely. "You invaded my privacy." I laughed. "You invaded my bed with my best friend. We are way past privacy. If you tell anyone," she hissed, stepping closer, "I will tell everyone you hit me, I'll ruin your career. Who are they going to believe? The crying woman or the jealous man? Get out, I said. I'm not leaving until... I'm recording this, I said, pointing my phone on the desk, and I'm live streaming the audio to a private server. Continue threatening me with false allegations. Elena, my lawyer will love it. She looked at the phone, then back at me with pure hatred. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard the room shook. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I had one more person to contact. Marcus's wife, Sarah. Sarah was a corporate attorney. She was sharp, intimidating, and fiercely loyal. We weren't close, mostly because Marcus always kept our circles slightly separate. Now I knew why. I texted her, Sarah, we need to talk. It concerns Marcus and Elena. I have proof. Please meet me at the coffee shop on 4th and Main. Come alone. She arrived 20 minutes later. She looked impeccable in a gray suit, but her eyes were tired. She sat down opposite me without ordering anything. This better be good, Liam, she said. Marcus told me you're having a mental breakdown. He said you got paranoid and accused him of hitting on Elena. He got to you first. I nodded, smart, but sloppy. I slid a manila envelope across the table. Inside were printed screenshots of the texts, the timestamps, the hotel receipts, and a USB drive with a video from my living room. I'm not going to tell you what's in there, I said. I'm just going to ask you to look. And when you're done, if you want to burn his life to the ground, call me. I watched her read. I saw the color drain from her face. I saw her hand tremble slightly as she turned the page. When she reached the part about Marcus spending their joint savings on gift for Elena, she stopped. She closed the folder. She took a deep breath. When she looked up, her eyes were dry, but they were burning with a cold, terrifying fire. He told me he was working late to pay for our IVF treatments, she whispered. That broke me a little. I didn't know they were trying for a baby. I'm so sorry, Sarah, I said. She stood up. Don't be sorry. Be ready. Do you want to destroy them? Yes. Good, she said. Marcus is terrified of two things, losing his license and losing his reputation. I can take care of the license. You take care of the reputation. We shook hands. It was the beginning of a beautiful, terrible partnership. The next week was a blur of calculated destruction. I moved out of the house completely. I let Elena stay there. She thought she had won a small victory. She didn't realize I had contacted the landlord. It was a rental while we built our dream home and informed him that I was breaking the lease. I paid the penalty fee. Elena had 7 days to vacate, and since her credit was shot without me, she had nowhere to go. But the real blow came from Marcus first. Sarah didn't scream. She didn't fight. She simply filed for divorce and froze his assets. But she did something even better. She handed the evidence of his financial misconduct, using client funds mined for personal use, to his firm's ethics board. I was sitting in my temporary apartment when I got the text from Sarah. It's done. Apparently, security escorted Marcus out of his office building in front of his entire team. He lost his job instantly, with the investigation pending. He would likely lose his license to practice finance. His career was over. But Elena needed a special touch. Elena relies on her reputation. In real estate, trust is the currency. Remember that client she was so worried about? The wealthy couple looking for a multi-million-dollar estate? They were friends of my cousin. Small world, right? I didn't tell them what to do. I simply sent them a link to a public Google Drive folder I had created. It contained no commentary, just the facts. The police report I filed when she tried to kick down my hotel door. Yes, she did that 2 days later. The screenshots of her mocking me, and a recording of her admitting to unethical business practices. She had bragged on tape about hiding structural issues from buyers to close deals faster. The couple fired her the next day. But they didn't just fire her. They told her broker why. Word travels fast in this town. By Friday, Elena had lost her 3 biggest listings. Her broker put her on probation. But the climax? The climax happened on Saturday. Elena and Marcus, now both desperate and clinging to each other, decided to go to a local bar, the one where all our mutual friends hang out. They were trying to brave it out, to show everyone that they were the victims, that they were in love and I was the villain. I wasn't planning on going out, but my friends, the real ones, called me. "You need to come see this," they said. I walked into the bar. The music seemed to stop. Everyone looked at me. Then they looked at the corner booth where Elena and Marcus were sitting. I walked up to the bar and ordered a drink. Elena stormed over. She was drunk. "Are you happy?" she screamed. "You ruined everything. You got Marcus fired. You cost me my commission." "I didn't do any of that," I said, turning to face her. "You did that. All I did was tell the truth. If the truth ruins you, that's a flaw in your character, not my revenge." Marcus came up behind her. He looked awful, unshaven, dark circles under his eyes. "You think you're tough, Liam? Hiding behind lawyers and emails." "I think I'm smart, Marcus. There's a difference." He shoved me. Now, I'm not a fighter, but I've been expecting this. I knew he was volatile. I stepped back, hands raised. "I don't want to fight you, Marcus." "Coward!" he yelled and he swung. He missed my jaw but caught my shoulder. That was all I needed. The bouncer tackled him instantly. The police were called. Marcus was arrested for assault in front of half the town. Elena was screaming, trying to fight the cops, and ended up getting cited for disorderly conduct. As they dragged Marcus out in handcuffs, he looked back at me. I just raised my glass. It's been 2 months since that night. The dust has settled, but the landscape has changed forever. Sarah finalized the divorce. She got the house, the car, and what was left of their savings. Last I heard, she's taking a trip to Italy, a solo honeymoon she says she deserves. We text sometimes. We aren't friends, exactly, but we are survivors of the same shipwreck. Marcus is living in a studio apartment on the bad side of town. He's working at a car wash while he waits for his court date regarding the assault and the financial fraud. No firm will hire him. Elena tried to spin the narrative on social media. She wrote long, tearful posts about toxic relationships and forgiving yourself. But the comment section is a brutal place. People had seen the receipts. She eventually deleted her accounts. She lost her job at the brokerage and had to move back in with her parents in the next state over. As for me, I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I finished the project I was working on, the one I designed. It won an award last week. At the award ceremony, I met a woman named Chloe. She's a landscape architect. She's kind. She listens. And when she asks how my day was, she actually waits for the answer. We're taking it slow. I have trust issues to work through, and she understands that. The other day, I was driving past a house, the one I was supposed to live in with Elena. It's rented out to a new family now. I saw a kid's bike in the driveway. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel angry. I just felt light. I realized that Elena was right about one thing. I was weak back then. I was weak because I let them treat me like an option in my own life. But that day in the bedroom, when I walked away instead of fighting, that wasn't weakness. That was the strongest thing I've ever done. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just dismantled their world, brick by brick, without getting my hands dirty. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't a shout. It's a whisper. It's the quiet scratching of a pen on a divorce paper. It's the click of a send button on an email. It's living your life so well that they become nothing more than a cautionary tale in your rearview mirror. So, to anyone listening who feels like their world is just ended, take a breath. Don't react. Plan. The truth is your best weapon, and patience is the best aim. My name is Liam. I'm an architect, and I finally built a life worth living.